Alright, look. You're not going to like what I'm about to say, but you need to hear it. Non-metallic metals sucks. And I don't mean the process of painting it. I'm talking about the final product. It's a gimmick. It's a party trick. It's a hollow status symbol. It's completely unnecessary. And look, I'm all for unnecessary status symbols. Take my Rolex, for example, or my fancy YouTuber microphone. But that's all they are. A sign that says I've made it. But what if you want something that looks great and functions well all at the same time? Well, that's where really good true metallic metal comes in. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do today.
Alright, for this battle-worn gold armor, we're going to use mainly scale 75 paints. NECRO Gold, DWARVEN Gold, ELVEN Gold, and Chrome from VALLEJO Model Air. But we're also going to use MOURNFANG Brown from Games Workshop. And here's the key to smooth true metallic metal. A thinner made for metallic paints. I'll be using Dark Star's thinner, but you can use any thinner you have handy. I blocked in the other metallic bits using decayed metal and black metal, also from scale 75, but that won't be covered in this video.
We'll start off with a base coat of NECRO Gold, thinned down using the metal thinner. And then we're going to focus on thin layers. The thinner your layers, the smoother the finish will be. I prefer scale 75 over all other metallic paints because of how fine the metallic pigments are. Once our first layer is dry, go ahead and put down a second coat. We're going to treat the metallics as if they were regular paints. Once you get a nice even coat on the model, we're going to move over to a wash. We'll be using REIKLAND Flesh Shade and NULN Oil from Games Workshop for this in a 3:4 ratio. Use an old brush separate from the one you've been using for the metallic paint. You'd be surprised how much that brush will hold on to metal flakes even after a good rinse. You want your wash to mat down the base coat, not leave an inconsistent finish. Once the wash is mixed well, we're going to apply a generous amount to the model and push it around so it tints everything but also settles in the recesses. It'll pool, so just soak up the excess with a clean brush. This is what it should look like when you're finished with the wash. Notice that the high points of the model still retain a little shine. You'll want to use this as your guide for the following layers. We'll lay down our first layer using the base color NECRO Gold, DWARVEN Gold, and MOURNFANG Brown, thinned using the metal thinner. This will allow the metallic paint to play nicely with the regular paint and evenly distribute the metal pigments. We're going to mix the three into a 1:1:1 ratio and thin that down to a near glaze consistency. Apply your layers to the areas on the model which catch the light from your painting area, preferably a light right above your desk. Work the paint around until you have even coverage and a shine has returned to the model.
Once that layer is dry, start bringing up the shine by slowly introducing more Dwarven Gold to the original mix. Going back for more thinner is necessary since we want to maintain that glaze consistency. Take a little of this highlight color onto the tip of your brush and apply that over the previous layer. Try to feather out the edges so there's a smooth transition between the two. Next, we're going to use a pure Dwarven Gold layer. For this, we want to aim for a 2:1 ratio with a thinner. Apply this to the model with the tip of the brush in sort of a rough texture. We want the light reflecting off the model in different intensities. It might be hard to know if you're actually making a difference if you're painting under bright lights, but just trust the process. Paint using the reflections as your guide. Think of the light as a zenithal highlight. Next, we're going to step up the brightness by introducing ELVEN Gold. Mix this with Dwarven Gold into a 50-50 mix. Again, adding thinner is necessary. When you apply these layers, the texture and techniques which you use can totally be up to you. Scratches, strokes, circles will all leave a different finish, and a variety of the techniques will add to the weathered, battle-worn appearance of the armor. I'm applying this layer in a circular pattern, almost buffing the surface to create a hammered metal appearance in some places, and stippling on others to simulate pits. After this, thin down pure ELVEN Gold and start selectively applying the highlight in a thin layer over the previous one. I can't stress it enough how important a good light is to this process. It'll really make this method a lot easier than painting under indirect light. Keep adding texture with each layer. It'll really sell the effect of how weathered gold reacts under light. We're almost to the final highlight now. Add some Model Air Chrome to your wet palette and mix a little into the ELVEN Gold. Try to aim for a 2:1 ratio. If you add too much chrome, you'll end up doubling up on the brightest highlight and blow out your values. Like a photo, you don't want to overexpose it by letting in too much light, so just be mindful. Thin this mix using the metal thinner and apply it sparingly over some places and more aggressively in others. For the final highlight, we're going to apply pure Model Air Chrome. Just be sure to use a tiny amount as your brush tends to soak this stuff up due to the low viscosity of the air paint. My biggest piece of advice when using Model Air Chrome is to barely touch the model with the brush. Dot on these highlights. Too much chrome and the gold will quickly get overpowered.
And there you have it, my approach to a realistic gold. Play around with the color you add to your base metallic. I went with a brown because NECRO Gold already has a brownish green appearance, but you could easily use any other color to influence the final result. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like and click the subscribe button and tell me in the comments whether you prefer non-metallic metal or true metallic metals. I'd like to say there's no wrong answers, but come on, we both know that's a lie. If you aren't already, follow me on social media. I'll put those links down below. That'll do it for today. Until next time, thanks for watching.